so much for joining this committee. Essentially, this is where you can address any concerns you've brought up to your superiors and nothing's really happened. I'm not saying that it fell through the cracks, but sometimes we get busy and we just want to follow up on those concerns. So feel free to voice any concerns that you have, and we will follow up with upper management and leadership. Also, keep in mind, any concerns that you bring up here are anonymous. So there will be no retaliation in case you bring something up of a sensitive nature. I have something to bring up. Yes, of course, Veronica. Thank you. It's actually a couple things, and I have brought this up to my management, and sometimes, like you said, they get busy. So I would like for it to be followed up on. I brought up some safety concerns regarding the vehicle that we drive, and I've also brought up the fact that we deal with potentially life-threatening items, and our compensation doesn't reflect that liability. And I really haven't heard anything back about that. Also, we would like an escort. My department is all women, and I'm not saying we can't defend ourselves, but we really don't have the opportunity or the ability to defend ourselves. So it'd be great if we could have an escort when we have to drive off site. That is something that I have also brought up, and we really haven't heard anything back. These are all great concerns, Veronica. We'll get back to you. Just give us a couple days and let us figure out what's going on, and then we'll get back to you with an update. You needed to see me? Come on in, Veronica. Have a seat, please. You know everyone from our management team. We're here to discuss some concerns that you brought up recently. You mean the concerns that I brought up anonymously? Well, some people in that meeting were a little worried that you were, I guess, trying to make us look bad. Regardless, I've brought these concerns to you multiple times. It's not like that was the first time I ever said anything. I think the biggest issue is that you've never brought any of these concerns to our attention. I haven't? I thought you might say that. February 12th of last year. Hey, the car has a flat again. I'm getting really afraid to drive this car on the highway every week. It really needs to be replaced. Your response was, I have a headache. Today is not a good day to discuss. No. March 8th. Hey, did you ever get any information on the compensation review? Because this really isn't working out. The amount of liability we come into contact every day is actually a little concerning. And your response was, I have not. We'll have to review those messages. For essentially we'd have to validate them. I'm not saying you're not being truthful, but we need to validate those text messages. I mean, I get that for liability purposes, you can admit to knowing that we are driving an unsafe vehicle, and just for general shitty management purposes, you can admit to the fact that I've been asking for a compensation review for months and you've been ignoring me. So I get why you're pretending in front of all these people. But I've brought it up, and I have more text messages if you need to see them. This meeting is over. You can go back to your desk now. I'll let you know if we need anything else from you. You wanted to see me? Yeah, come on in. Have a seat. What's this I hear about you putting your 2-week notice in? Yeah, it's time. I had to submit my 2 weeks. I'm going to finish up some projects that I'm working on, and then it's time to move on. What, if you don't mind me asking, what's your reasoning for leaving? Just growth opportunities and all that. There's really nowhere for me to go here. There's really no advancement opportunity here. Be honest with me, Veronica. I know you're holding something back. I am being honest. You want to tell me the truth, or? I mean, if you got time, we got time. If you got time, I got time to tell you. Have a seat, we have time. Well, I mean, basically, everything that happened after my cousin passed away, I was treated horribly. They really made my life hell. They were not willing to work with me and assist me. I know that they're not required to, but, they want to instill this culture of family and work family, and we have each other's back when it's needed. But when it's actually needed, that work family was nowhere to be found. And then, they want to ask me for a favor, and I said no, and I got called into 4 meetings, and I got, basically they tried to guilt trip me into feeling bad about it. They tried to make me feel like a horrible employee. They tried to gaslight me into believing that I did something wrong. Like, there was just a lot going on, and I couldn't take it anymore. Even after you approved me to have my day off on Mondays, they also tried to get me to come in on Mondays during certain weeks, and it's a lot. Veronica, what concerns me is that my door's always open. You could have come up here anytime you had an issue. For what? I would have been knocking at your door every 5 minutes. There's a certain point that you just decide, okay, this is just not for me anymore, and you have to move on. I would have loved to be able to come up here and tell you every 5 minutes, hey, this is what's going on. But number one, you're not going to be here forever. So that retaliation would have been on me. And then not only that, there's like micro retaliations where they can make my life hell without it being big enough for me to file a formal complaint. So they knew exactly what they were doing. But it's time for me to go. And I actually feel sorry for you because you're the head honcho, right? You have people under you that you're supposed to trust to take care of your employees. And when those people are not doing it, that's why you're losing so many good employees. I mean, if you've ever taken a notice of the turnaround that you have, even in my department alone, that should be an indicator. There's something going on. People don't leave because of money. Most of the time, people leave because of bad management, and people have been dropping left and right from here. And they're getting other jobs where they're being appreciated and valued way more than here. And people need to be held accountable. But if I don't know what's going on, then I can't do that part of my job if I don't know what's happening. And it shouldn't be my job to run and tattletale saying that my supervisor is not doing their job. I mean, that's why there's so many people, so many hands in the pot, having to like hold each other accountable and make sure that their peers and their counterparts are doing what they're supposed to be doing. I shouldn't have to be I don't get paid enough for that. I shouldn't have to be the one saying, hey, this person's really not doing what they're supposed to. I know that it helps when employees come and complain, but do you guys really ever do anything about it? Probably not. In my experience, nothing has ever been done about it. Well, I get it. I'm sorry that you experienced that. I'm sorry that there's not more we could have done to keep you. You're a great team player. You're a hard worker. I mean, I love having you as part of the company. The door's always open if you need to come back. If you ever want to come back, we are here. I will accept you back because you are a very, very hard worker. I'd rather die, but thank you.